be bold, not bald. That's an awesome way to kind of go out. For those of you watching this visually, he is in fact bald.
I am bald.
He is bald. Dude, you kind of have a cool story. Before we were going through the talk, and now you're an optician. I'm probably going to mispronounce that multiple times.
Optician.
What did you do prior to that, if you don't mind me asking?
I performed wedding ceremonies.
Wow.
Yes. And of course, COVID happened. Before that even happened, there was a lot of different situations kind of taking my life in a very different direction. I felt very, very fortunate to be able to land the position I am in. It was all by chance. And Randy was the one person that has always been back in my mind. The very first time I met him back in 2007. Loved everything that he did, everything that he created. Even before the underground experience, he showed me around. And I shadowed him. I was like, I wanted to be able to grow my wedding business and want to shadow him. And he gave me the 2 books. And he's already said that in the podcast. So I read those 2 books and it changed me, and I shadowed him, and I got to be able to go with him on his talk over at the school, which was really beautiful because he gave from the heart. There was nothing in it for him. And he gave from the heart. And the more he gave, the more I realized I see that his business didn't grow. It was his heart that grew. Everything that he does isn't a business decision. It's his love decision. And I felt that, and I never understood that, honestly, at that moment. And it isn't until we're having this dialogue that I didn't realize that Randy is Randy, not because of Randy, but because of the love that his mom instilled in him that created that discipline within him at a very young age that was able to be able to program him to be able to see the other side. And for people who have not had that experience or exposure, they don't understand that. And that's where we have to be able to take up that responsibility to do that for ourselves and to be able to take that responsibility and say, this is what I need to be able to do from now on. And there has been so much information out there and so much availability. And personally, I am very honored to be able to be in the midst of both of you because I look up to both of you, honestly.
Too much.
Ralph, for you to be able to start this podcast and to be able to grow this business. And for Randy, for you growing literally from planting a single seed to growing to the business where it's at now. It is amazing. But at the same time, I completely understand where you guys are. And I feel that I'm not up to that yet. But I feel that it's very important to be able to surround yourself with the people, with not only just positive people, but people in which you want to be able to go at. And when you don't feel satisfied, and that's where I'm at, I don't feel satisfied because I feel there's more out there. And being in the midst of both of you, I understand that there is definitely more available.
Wow.
And I feel very fortunate to be born here in the United States, honestly. I was born in Philly, very rough part of town. My mom and my dad had a Chinese restaurant, bulletproof glass and everything.
Wow.
And my mom told me a very beautiful story that I never knew until more recently when I came into my own little situation. My mom told me that when I was a very young boy, in the Chinese restaurant business, I'm not sure if you guys ever been in a restaurant environment, but there's a lot of chaos going on. And my mom said for hours on end, as a little child, before the age of 4, around there, I would just play with the rice, pouring from one bowl to another bowl for hours on end, days, whenever I want to be able to do that. And that completely dumbfounded me because there's so much chaos going on around the world. And as adults, we have so much things that's going on, having to either take care of family or take care of this or take care of business. And I just realized that within all of us, we have that ability, if we choose, to be able to be calm in chaos. And Randy, you show that exactly. Not that you're faking it, but it came from within you, that anytime that there's any challenges, you see that as an opportunity to be able to grow. And you're very humble to the point where you don't see it as a problem, but you see it as there's a way for me to be able to solve this problem. And you look at the opportunity to be able to see, okay, what can I do? What can I change? What am I able to be able to bring, not value just because, but because of the love that you give out and you share with every single person that you come in contact with. Not your customers aren't your customers. They're your family. They're your extended family. And I've listened and learned so much, not by just what you say, but literally by what you do. And every single person that works for you loves it in your environment. Why? Not because, oh, Randy is this or Randy is. No, it's because the love that you built on the ground, on that ground of love that you have made. And that inspires me every single day. And I kick myself in the rear so many times because I feel like I'm not up to that point. And I keep on comparing myself to you. And that is my flaw, that I should not compare myself to you. But what I should do is enlist that love that you have and tap into that, and to be able to move forward, to be able to get to where I want to be and not feel stuck. Why not? It's through my ego, definitely my ego, honestly, to feel stuck. And that is my responsibility. I need to be able to recognize that. And then Randy, I'm so grateful to be here. Ralph, I'm so grateful to be here as well.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, that's
so grateful.
Yeah, this is cool. Right, I'm floored. Right. I do love that you relate ego to it too, which is great, because that's something that we definitely have in common with there, that we're trying to tone down and to eliminate. I think something that's really interesting, and then Randy, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I love that your talk is about you're not an accident, right? Because it allows, and you're not an accident, like in general, like everybody is born with a purpose. And based on your story, how you went from how you went through weddings and did what you did with the wedding circuit and built your business up from the ground up with that, and then fell into optometry, and now you're an optician and doing it that way, like by chance, right? But having the understanding that you're here with a purpose, it almost kind of, when I would take that, it's like, is it by chance, or is it like it was just supposed to happen? It just didn't happen on your time. That's how a lot of things I'm starting to realize, even talking with you too, Randy, is like, sure, you want things, but they don't happen on your time. They happen when they're supposed to happen, and you don't understand why, but it just does. I thought your talk was awesome. You have a very good narrating voice too. Right? I don't know if anybody's ever told
your
you
voice
that.
Rocks, Mark. Rocks.
You have a very good narration.
The moment
voice.
You start, like, whoa, right?
Like if you ever do audiobooks and stuff, you definitely, you have a very low, calming, soothing voice.
I'm here at service.
That's great stuff, right?
Brent, okay, I mean, I kind of want to pass it on to you to kind of just gather your thoughts on it. I think the talk was really about your purpose. Living on Purpose is the podcast, right? Randy Detrick's Living on Purpose. And you pretty much said it like in that regard. So,
yeah, I can't help but think, Mark, there's a segment that I do in the Underground now where we talk about Viktor Frankl and his book and so on, and how he goes, in America, we get up in the morning. You may have heard me say this. We get up in the morning, we go, how do I get more out of this life? How can I accumulate more? How can I be more? How can I accomplish more? I want more. And the problem with this question is that no one chose really to be alive. No one had anything to do with it. And it's the wrong question to ask of how can I get more, because you didn't choose to be alive. Life chose us to be here. So since life chose you to be here and life chose you to be on this earth and you had nothing to do with it, the question we should ask is, what does life expect of me? All of a sudden, every single day when you get up now, every problem, every challenge that you face is actually a little gift that life has given you, going, okay, I put you here. Here's something I'm going to give you to turn you into a better person. Conquer this one, and I'll give you another one. And if we have that perspective, you get goosebumps saying it out loud, because everything changes. Because all of a sudden, life is no longer pounding me into the dirt. It's no longer draining the life out of me. It's actually building life into me, because it's giving me opportunities to be a better person for the purpose that I'm here. And I always say, everyone in this world should develop a mission statement for their life. You're never going to hit a target you don't have. Develop a mission statement, write it down, put it on the wall, read it every single day of your life. Because there's power in getting words out of your mind on the paper and on the wall. Because now all of a sudden it's outside of you and you can see it. And your life will go in the direction of your thoughts, direction of your words, direction of what you read. Mark, what do you got? I love you just pull your phone out. The moment I said that, Mark, he reaches the mic, pulls his phone out, and goes, oh, here we go, right?
Yes.
So what do you got?
I love it because when you did that podcast about creating your mission statement, my gosh, that connected. And I remember texting you my mission statement. And my mission statement, at that time I wrote is, I will live purposefully with direct intentions of honesty, authenticity, integrity, and love. And that mission statement, and I'm going to be very honest here and kind of vulnerable. I kind of forgot about this. And you stating that kind of rejogged my mind. And I think it's because I let this slide too much. And that's where I need to be able to take that responsibility that I'm not doing what I need to be able to do, is remind myself what my purpose is. And thank you, Randy, for jogging that in.
Wow. Man. Great stuff. It is great. This was powerful. Let me see another note I made here. I love how you connected the grip on life and the grip on the tire on the road. Love that. Because there's at some point, I don't know where it was said, but there's an analogy of how people really do take care of their cars better than themselves.
Yes.
No one runs their car completely out of gas and then goes, what the heck happened here?
Yes.
They go fill up before they're out. Yes. But yet people were themselves, they're just out of gas and there's nothing left.
There are some people do have that tendency to run their tank empty.
Right. That's true.
I remember I did that a couple of times when I was very young.
Yep.
Wow.
But yeah, it really is true. You can only give what you have to give. The more that you have, the more you can give. And there is no absolute law of nature that I can show you, if this, then that. And this is where the word faith comes in. Yes. That you really do need to accept this in your life, that the more you give to the world, the more the world will give to you.
Yes.
And it's not about acquiring things. In fact, I think the happiest people in the world, they don't want anything.
Yes.
They really don't. You just have no desires. You love to give because it feels great to add value to the people around you. And the moment you add value to them, you've added value to you. And your world continues to spiral up. But to take that step, it takes faith. You got to trust. This doesn't make any sense to me. How is it that if I give something away, I'll have more? Because I actually have less in my hand. Right?
Faith, yes.
Right. But it really has to do with the faith.
And definitely shows by your actions. Everything that you do at the underground, everything that you do at the winery, you give everything you have. Literally everything. Even you give the time that you could be spending with your family. And that's huge. And I'm not sure if enough people out there realize the significant sacrifice that is. Yeah, you get to be able to, of course, live on the ground. And, all that is beautiful. But the very fact that you have 3 young children, a wife, you could absolutely spend the rest of your life just there and do absolutely nothing with the winery. Or the winery could just be where it's at, where it's comfortable. But no, you find that love to be able to not just grow it for the sake of growing, but for the sake of adding value to other people, of giving them an experience beyond their wildest dream. And you said something, I'm not going to be able to divulge it because everyone's going to have to be able to see it personally, but you also want to be able to make that upgrade, and it's even better than before. And that's the beautiful thing, is you always constantly want to give. And you
thanks, Mark.
are embodiment of giving. And anybody that's able to be able to hear this understands that there is nothing in this world that's by chance. Every single person that's literally listening to this, you're meant to be able to listen. And if you're able to be able to listen and you've already followed this podcast for as long as you have, if you haven't, go back to episode 1 because everything starts from the beginning. And this way you're able to be able to retrain yourself, listen through every single thing, not once, not twice, but just as many times. So this way it's able to be able to get and seep in, and you'll be able to see the journey. And anybody that's hearing this will be able to understand and see and feel the journey of Randy's love. And that's where it is. It's not just a purpose. It's Randy's love. And maybe it's even Sandy's love, your mom's love.
Big time. It really, I mean, my mom, it really, it all does come from mom. But my mom lived a life where she gave so much that it actually killed her.
Yeah.
My mom died of lymphoma, leukemia, and a lot of it was stress induced. And my mom wasn't able to strike that balance. And seeing her live through that has taught me to say exactly what you need in this life. Tiff never needs to wonder, what am I thinking? How do I feel? what do you need from me? What do you want from me? Because I say it direct. And that element, a lot of people that give a lot, they lack that piece. And then what happens is they deplete themselves to nothing. And then they keep trying to give, and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
They don't realize you need to express to the world, what do you need to be happy? What makes you happy?
Yeah.
You know, and thanks for all your compliments, Mark. My God, you humble me. Really grateful.
No, you're awesome, man. Honestly,
something. Really
I strive to be in your shadows. That's the
God, something else. Really grateful.
It's awesome,
man. Thank you, Mark.
Randy.
Thank you.